Yo, welcome to the Scoop with Dukes. I'm your host, Philip Dukes, aka Dukes D Scoop. Check me out on Twitter and Instagram at Dukes D Scoop, and please be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. If you have not become a member already, please go become a member. Join the channel. We got some perks, got some merch on the way, and it helps keep the channel free. So I appreciate you guys. This is an AU Scoop. Usually, I would have pre-recorded this and dropped it, but I literally make sure my mic is on. I literally just recorded this same exact show with a muted mic. It's the second time I did that in 2 days, which probably means that I don't need to record after watching football with my Uncle Tito, if you know what I mean. All right, guys. So DJ Durkin and Derek Nix put up a hell of a fight against a ranked Vanderbilt team that um a lot of people probably thought Vanderbilt should have blown Auburn out based on what they've been doing lately, and they did not. A valiant effort. Somebody on Twitter, maybe about a week ago, when I was talking about the defense of Auburn, was calling Auburn moral victory U. I thought that was a little bit condescending, but at the same time, I thought about it and I said, should Auburn take a moral victory from this loss? There were a lot of good things, but if you were to ask any Auburn fan last week, and if you were to ask them, who do you think wins the Vandy game if Auburn scores at least 30 points? I would guarantee you that nobody would have thought that Auburn loses a game where they actually scored 30. But they did, right? Um, I think you saw some really, really good things offensively tonight. Ashton Daniels was a revelation, right? Um, I believe he had about 450 yards of total offense, somewhere near there. Um, Cam Coleman proves his status as an alien. Whatever he wants, you have to pay him. He may have cemented himself as to be next year's highest paid non-quarterback in college football. I think you can justify that. The only person I think probably could get more would be a tackle or at the position, Jeremiah Smith. If Jeremiah Smith gets $4 million, you got to give Cam Coleman 3.99999. Or Cam Coleman probably could deserve more because Ohio State has I don't know. I think the wide receiver room at Auburn is just as good as I don't want to say it's damn close, right? But you got to pay Cam Coleman. He had a hell of a game. Jeremiah Cobb gets off. Heck of a game. Ashton Daniels, once again, you saw a lot of good things offensively that I've seen on Twitter already. People are like, what the hell was Hugh doing? I mean, that's hard, but at the end of the day, you can understand why people felt or feel that way when you see Auburn go off for over 500 yards of total offense. We haven't seen this side of Auburn. It makes you feel as if Derek Nix would have been calling plays earlier, Auburn probably has a better season. That's the initial feeling that you get. Is it true? Who knows? But that's the initial feeling that you get. So you guys can jump in the chat. You can jump in the comments. Do you feel as if DJ Durkin did enough to get the job in game one? I don't know if he has. Or a better question is this. Did DJ Durkin knock himself out of the running in game one? I don't think I think the team takes the personality of his head coach when they do a good job of transferring their beliefs. I think you saw the fight, right, of Auburn tonight. Let's say you beat Mercer and you beat Bama. Do you have to give him the job then? You beat Bama, you win the Iron Bowl, you get to roll Toomer's corner after the Iron Bowl. Do you have to give him the job? Let's say you play Bama close, lost to Vandy, beat Mercer, presumably, play Bama really close. Does he get the job then? Who knows? How do you feel? Drop it in the comments on the replay of this live. You can drop it in the chat now. But I think you don't recreate the wheel at this point because I believe a lot of these plays, I don't think they added a lot of new stuff. I think they just made a concerted effort to get the ball down the field. Throw the damn ball is what it felt like. It felt like run the ball and throw it. For the first time in a long time, I felt as if Auburn had an opportunity to win the game with the offense getting the ball last. Even with the last series in regulation, I felt as if Auburn had a chance to win the game, right? The weakest link said Auburn had too many stupid penalties, and you are right, my brother. Let's get the official numbers. Auburn's penalties. 12 penalties, 91 yards. To Vanderbilt's 3 penalties for 21 yards. Stats, team stats. Auburn 34 first downs. Good gracious, haven't heard that all year. 6 of 13 on third down. Hello. Now you gave up 7 of 12. That's uncharacteristic of Auburn. 353 yards passing, but you gave up 377. You ran the ball for 210 yards of offense. 210 rushing yards. 563 yards of offense. Goodness gracious. Ashton Daniels number. What a day. Have a day, Ashton Daniels. 31 of 44, 353 yards, 2 tuds, 0 picks. Also had 18 carries for 89 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. Ashton Daniels, have yourself a day. I was getting phone calls in Atlanta. So this was an Atlanta day. Julian Lewis balls out. Atlanta, baby. Ashton Daniels balls out. 3-time state champion at Buford. Balls out. In that game, he's playing against C-Dog. C.J. Hurst, shout out to C-Dog. Atlanta youth legend. Right? Eric Singleton balled out today. Another Atlanta youth legend. Welcome all Panthers. Shout out to Lil E. He has 11 for 102 and a touchdown. Cam Coleman trains in Atlanta. 10 for 143 for a touchdown. Uncharacteristic defensively today, right? But did he do enough? I don't think you can take him out of the running with this loss. I think you still got to consider him. Eli Drinkwitz, they lose today. I think if Eli wins today, that talk gets louder, right? Was this a Clark Lee interview? How would you feel about Clark Lee and what they do offensively? Do you feel like the offense just works, or do you feel like the offense is predicated on Diego Pavia? That's the biggest question about Clark Lee. But is Clark Lee your guy? I think all that remains to be seen, but I think that you have to be encouraged by the offense putting up a fight because you know what the defense can do. They were due for a bad game, to be honest. Now, that doesn't mean that you excuse the play, but all season long, they've been carrying, right? I sound like one of the young guys. They've been carrying all year long. Sound like my son Cam. But I do think that you beat Mercer, you beat Bama, you have to give serious consideration to DJ Durkin. You lose to Bama, you lose a little steam, right? How good would it be for Auburn fans to be able to roll Toomer's Corner after the Iron Bowl again? Right? Shout out to Danny 007 with the $2 super chat. So, guys, I'm not going to hold you guys long. What I wanted to do, I was going to re-record this and drop it, but I said I might as well drop it live after I recorded a show on mute again. So now that I figured out how to work my microphone, I want you guys to drop in a comment and drop in the chat. Do you feel like DJ Durkin and Derek Nix did enough to keep themselves in the running for the permanent jobs, whether that be the head coaching job or the offensive coordinator job? I think Derek Nix put himself firmly in the race to be the OC today. Can he do it for 3 games? You got to think. This ain't even the offense that he's been running. You don't get Lane Kiffin. This guy's been running Lane Kiffin's offense for a long time. You don't even have to run the exact plays if you know when you get certain looks, what passing game concepts do you run against certain looks, right? So I think that's the important question. All right, drop it in the comments. Do you think they did enough? Should Dirk and Derek Nix remain in the running for the permanent jobs of head coach and offensive coordinator at Auburn University? Close loss to Vandy. Well, they'll get over it. But I felt way better than I've felt all year long after Auburn losses, after losing this game. All right, guys, I appreciate it. That's my time. I'll be right back with the Colorado Live in a minute. All right, thank you.